Zach, we're up to episode 30 of Oldie But Goodie.
Yep.
Many things have happened.
Yep. Several.
We watched Intersection. That was a big mistake. That was a big milestone. We've learnt many things along the way.
Yes, like old movies. Just don't go back and watch them.
No, they're in the past for a reason.
Yeah. Don't watch them.
Don't. Unless you want to entertain a handful of people on a podcast.
Yes. Then it's mildly entertaining for them, not for you, because you watched Intersection, the worst mistake humans
And thank you for listening to the last 30 episodes of this podcast.
Woo!
We thought we'd give you a treat on episode 30 by forcing me to watch The Mask again.
Have fun, Sandro. How did that go for you?
Look, it wasn't that bad because I watched it with my friend Meerna.
Hello.
We've got a guest on this episode, Zach.
Yeah.
You two forced me to watch The Mask.
Yeah, because it's great. It's
you're welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome for that one.
Oof. I probably should say the podcast is Oldie But Goodie.
Oh, yeah.
My name's Sandro, that's Zach. Every week we watch movies from 1994 in the order they came out in. This film came out at the end of July, and we're recording with this film. This episode's getting released at the end of July.
Yay!
Cool. Anyway, Meerna, you are Melbourne improviser and actress.
Correct.
Yeah. Which is this is the perfect film. You know, Jim Carrey, well known for improvising and acting.
Look, I watched this film so many times when I was younger, and it has impacted me and my personality a great deal, and you can definitely tell.
Yeah. Whenever the podcast starts, you just put on a mask. Different personality. Go.
They do say as an actor, you wear many different masks as well.
Both metaphorical and in real life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now I'm putting on several different masks and
Yes,
taking them off.
I like the pink one with the tassels. Yeah. That one's very out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How
did you enjoy it, Sandro?
So I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would.
Oh, okay.
I have distinct memories of watching this film 5 years ago and going, this is the worst thing I've ever seen, and I'm never watching this ever again.
Yep.
But no, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. The only parts I really didn't like were the burp and fart jokes. There was only 3 of them throughout the film, but I was like, oh, come on, you were doing so well. Why do you have to put these in? Oh, well.
You guys, this movie... I don't understand how you guys are reacting to this, because this movie is a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
It is one of my favorites, and my point of view is in no way changed by the fact that they're going to remake this with a female lead.
Yeah. Not influenced by that fact.
This is genius filmmaking at the height of slapstick and Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I love Jim Carrey.
So what you're saying is you're maybe the biggest fan of this movie,
what I'm saying
and would be ideal for a spot in said movie if one was open to a female lead.
And I tick a lot of boxes, but so does this movie.
Right, yeah, of course.
Now that we've got our characters established, there were a couple other choices for this week.
And they don't matter.
That we had.
So.
One of them was Black Beauty.
Yep.
It's a book and then turned it into a film. It's about a horse.
Yeah. I was saying there was a lot of horses and just animal movies in the 90s.
There were. There's a dog in this film. Main
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
There was
No.
There's a lot.
But it becomes way better in the sequel. Trust me.
The other optional choice for this week was It Could Happen to You. It's a Nick Cage rom-com. He wins a bunch of money and then it goes on a rom-com.
Yeah,
I'm
sure that would have been
every
good.
Nick Cage movie is a rom-com.
Yeah.
Between me and him.
Oh, okay.
I see. A personal
go.
rom-com that you have.
Like National Treasure, the real treasure was the connection we found along the way.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into it. The Mask, released July 29th.
Yeah.
It's directed by Chuck Russell. Before this, he directed the third Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Okay.
Which is considered the worst. And also the 80s remake of The Blob.
All big hits, I'm sure.
Now, there was something you noticed during the film, Meerna.
The CGI looked a little similar to one of my favorite trilogies, mainly the
trilogy.
third. Is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Mainly the third. 'Cause I really love the Mummy film.
Ah, yes. Oh, yeah, the Scorpion King. The greatest of all the Mummy films.
And you said that, and you were like, oh, this looks like the Scorpion King. And I went, well, Chuck Russell, after The Mask, directed The Scorpion.
And the CGI holds up in both.
Some things are so ingrained in your memory that you'll never be able to forget it.
CGI The Rock Scorpion King is definitely one of those things. Yep. A key stepping stone in CGI technology.
I'd argue that it was.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a stepping stone to get to a destination.
Yes. The destination being far from the stepping stone. That is the rock.
The Mummy films are great, though. Big fan of those.
Yeah. Dude, I love the Mummy films, especially the Scorpion King. Just going back and watching that is the funniest thing.
It's so good.
Good is
that and
word.
Spy Kids 3 are like go-to CGI early 2000s movies.
Ooh, yeah.
Spy Kids 3D.
Spy Kids 2 was great.
Yeah,
I really love that film.
Yeah, it's got the tiny dinosaurs.
Yeah. And the gorilla spider thing.
Yeah.
I think I know it well enough.
Yeah. You need to get with your Spy Kids lore. Yeah. It's essential on this podcast.
This film is based off the Dark Horse comic, The Mask. Character created in the late 80s, got his own comic book run, 26 issues long, from 91 to 98. I've read it.
Yep.
I have seen some of it.
What do you mean? Aren't you the biggest fan of this movie and the franchise? Have you not read everything and studied the characters in depth? That's what you were telling me before, right?
I will with the right incentive.
I see.
The comics are just very different. They've see, this is very zany, which is what I love, and the comics are just very gory and
oh really
they're
violent.
Very dark.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, you see violence here to like a cartoonish effect, but they're not trying to. The cartoon aspects only apply to the Mask in the comics, who's called the Big-Headed Killer, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Instead of going on a cheeky little stealing from a bank.
Yep. Cheeky little robbery.
Cheeky little robbery.
Cheeky little, gotta
on
take the money.
Spree.
Killing spree.
Kills loads of people.
Wow,
and
I did not know that.
It's like the Punisher if the Punisher didn't have a reason to punish people.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I did not know that at all.
And that was originally going to be this movie. This film was originally created to set up a horror franchise, which makes sense as to why they got the director, well known for horror films. One of the unused spec scripts contained a storyline and a story about a mask maker who took the faces off his corpses and put them on teens and then turned them into zombies. That was going to be the movie at one point.
I see.
But the director was like, I don't like the violence in the comics. It's a bit nasty.
Okay.
Everything else, though, is great.
Yeah. So let's just take that and make this.
So then, he turned it into a comedy, essentially. And cast Jim Carrey as well, because like they would have been filming this before Ace Ventura even came out.
Really?
And it was probably a big risk to have him do his thing before it was, guaranteed to be good.
Going from his stand-up career, very early stand-up career, you see him do the same impressions, the same sort of voices and characters, so you can definitely see what inspired it. They were like, hey, you just do you, and that's the Mask character now.
Yeah, that's cool. Sure. That's cool.
Jim Carrey, pretty good in this. He plays a character called Stanley.
Oh,
good
yes.
name.
Stanley.
Ipkiss.
Very important Ipkiss.
I just waited for the pun on that the whole movie.
Yeah.
You can upkiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah.
That was good. Cameron Diaz makes her film debut as Tina.
Yeah.
She was okay.
Yep. She was definitely a female role in the 90s. She was... Hey, we have the female lead. There she is, everyone. Isn't she great?
All the development we need.
Yep.
Oh, and she's also with the bad guy. Oh, conflict. There we go.
How many films have we done when that's happened again?
Like all of them?
I think all of them. Every action film.
Yeah. No, every action film.
You've got Peter Green. He plays Dorian. He's got a funny career because he did 2 huge films in '94, The Mask, and then he plays Zed, who ends up dead in Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
And then he dropped off the face of the earth and hasn't done anything big since.
Wow. Okay.
So,
he pocketed those checks and left. He's done.
The film did get an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects, which disgusts me.
That's great. Honestly, the non-CGI effects most of the time were pretty good. Like, I don't know, the big cartoony like face effects.
So amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's the word I was.
Who wants to guess the Rotten Tomatoes score?
What are we thinking? What's your
100% certified fresh.
100% certified fresh. You're putting a very positive spin on that. You're putting a very positive spin. I'm also going to put it in the high marks of like the 45%, maybe 35%. 35% is what I'll give it.
The only way it would get a 35% if it was out of 35%.
I see. Yeah, that's my guess.
77%.
Woo! There you go.
That's pretty good.
So it was like closer. Right. Yeah. It was right in between our guesses.
Yeah.
So
audience score of 67%. Nice. Not on Cinema Score, but on Metacritic, audiences gave it 56%. So audiences are not as a fan of this as critics, which is
do they not like family friendly zany fun?
This film was made on a budget of $23 million. Pretty good considering the effects that were in play.
Yeah. That they must have really skimped out on the budget for that effects because they were brilliant this whole film.
What do you think it made?
I think it's best-selling for box office records. It's what Avengers Age of Ultron is... it's what Avengers is competing with now.
Not cutting that out.
Cut it out!
Your career's over!
I love Avengers.
Yeah.
No, I actually do. See, I just love films based on comic books, like superhero films.
Yeah. So what did it make?
What do you think it made? You're wrong.
300
350 million, yeah. There we go.
Wow,
there you
that's very close.
So, boom, cool. And that is all the information we need.
All the information
jump
we need.
Into it.
The movie speaks for itself with the other information.
Yeah. Let's go through the film. I didn't write down that many notes, so
my first note was nice guy. It just something tells me that he was just a very nice guy.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy. Yeah, I got that impression as well.
Yeah.
The movie really conveys that in a very concise manner, I feel.
At first I was like, he's committing all these crimes.
Yeah.
And it's a little problematic, but he's a nice guy, so it's alright.
He's a nice guy.
He's a hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
I'm a hopeless romantic.
Yeah. You'd be really great as a...
Smoke.
What did you think of the font, Sandro, first off? It's a very small bit, but we need to go over this, obviously, as a critic.
He grabbed his phone so quickly.
Yeah.
I think I did say something when the mask kind of zoomed on the screen. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Or
something like that.
Critical of the
It's
font.
not bad.
I think the font was pretty good.
It's the same font for the comic, so it's a very comic book font.
Well, then, they did it right then.
Yeah.
The mask was rising up. That was so poetic. Just like
Yeah.
visually.
Oh, yeah.
This film is set in Edge City. more like bloody edgy city.
Whoa! Wow, what a joke, Sandro. How long did it take you to come up with that one?
He was so proud of it too. He's like,
look what I've come up with.
And I just wrote, not a good enough reason to use creme de la creme as a phrase.
Yeah.
That's true.
Is that your criticism of this film?
Actually.
One?
Yeah, his friend at the bank I didn't really get.
Oh, yeah, no. His friend at the bank was a bit weird.
Yeah, so Jim Carrey, and...
Good old Carrey.
Carrey, baby.
Yeah.
And... I think his name was Charlie, his friend, but
doesn't matter. No one
cares. They
He wasn't a nice guy, so he wasn't.
Yeah. They work at the bank. Jim Carrey, accountant, and he tries to ask out a girl by using these tickets.
Yeah,
he's bought these tickets. They're exclusive tickets.
Co-worker as well, right?
They're
co-worker. They're sold out.
Guy.
Yeah. No, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah,
but then she's like, oh, my friend just went in town and she would love this. Can you get a third ticket? And he's like, oh, no, they've sold out. Oh man, I don't know what we're going to do. And she's like, oh man, she would really love this film. I can't really leave her behind. And he's like, oh, why don't you go with your friend instead of me? And she's like, no, I could. All right, thank you. Yeah. And she grabs those tickets, she snatches them, and she's like, thanks. Oh, you're so nice. Isn't he the nicest?
He's the nicest guy. Like, he did that for her with no ulterior motives whatsoever.
Yeah. Thank you for these tickets. I'm leaving now. Bye.
Yeah. And the universe, as a thank you to him, was like, hey, here's your non-creepy friend. He's got tickets to Coco Bongo.
Yeah. Coco Bongo.
So that's the name
My
of the club.
favorite
Coco
club.
Right. Coco, the only club in Edge City.
Yes.
There are no other clubs.
I'm not really a clubbing person, but if I were to go to a club, it'd definitely be in the Mask universe.
Yeah, for sure. So what you're saying is you're a really big fan of the Mask universe.
I feel like we're at a press junket. What's going on?
Yes.
So I was very aware of this, the source material beforehand, and I'm a very big fan. It's just me doing an interview.
But I didn't want to read it so it wouldn't corrupt my interpretation of the character. Yeah. I'm Tom Holland. I've never actually seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
Ooh. No, it's true. It's true facts.
Well, good thing he's not in Star Wars.
Yep.
Not yet. Or Han Solo. It's him even younger. Tom Holland.
That wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
No.
Yeah.
He was Chewbacca the whole time.
Yeah. Oh my god. What a twist.
They go to the club, Coco Bongo, as you mentioned. And
one of them goes to
one of them, because Carrey can't get in.
Yeah.
Because...
Oh no, he's having such a bad day.
Yeah.
Then he's got a really bad car because his car is like a really bad mechanic.
Tragic.
It kind of reminded me of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, and that everything bad just happens to him constantly for the first half hour.
And then a car drives by and it literally does the puddle splash. A classic, a cult classic where you get... If you're having a bad day, you're immediately going to walk on the sidewalk next to a giant puddle.
Exactly.
And then a car's going to drive by.
How else are we going to know you're having a bad day?
How else?
Oh, and just to make it worse.
Yeah. The lead female,
Cameron
known
Diaz.
as lead female.
No, she's got a name.
Yeah.
Right down.
What is that name?
Tina?
Tina, yeah. So lead female rocks up. She's like, hi, I am lead female. Looks like you're having a bad day. And he's like, oh man, a woman witnessed my bad day. Now it's even worse.
Yeah.
Yet she doesn't think any less of him.
Yes.
Look at how she looked at him.
Well, because, she's working with the villains.
Baby.
So.
Yeah.
Does Cameron Diaz show any emotion in this film?
Yes, she laughs in that scene.
Okay.
Seduction.
She's very female leady.
Anyway, so he drives home, he gets stuck on a bridge, sees something in the water, and is like, I guess I'll just jump into this.
No.
I think he thought it was a body, so he was like...
Oh, yeah.
As a nice guy, he's got to help. If it's someone in the water, he's got to help him.
He's a nice guy.
As a nice guy, he jumps in the water only to discover that it's a pile of trash that just happens to be in the shape of a human corpse.
I've made that mistake before.
Anyway, he realized that the face of the corpse is some sort of mask, and he pulls off this thing, and it's like, oh, it's a mask. That's weird. And then someone shines a light, and it's like, oi! What are you doing in here?
Looking for my mask.
Yeah.
I found it already, smoking.
Yeah. That's the exact quote. Wow, you remember that so perfectly.
Great.
I'm a fan.
Yeah,
what
you're
can I
really
say?
a big fan. Yeah. So then he trudges home with his soggy trousers.
Every single character has had a bad day, and things aren't going right for them. They have to be soggy in some way.
Yes.
Have you seen that in movies?
Yeah. No, they have to get wet at some point.
Soggy.
If you had wet socks, you would also be having a bad day, would you not?
I would be so mad.
Yeah, exactly.
To top it all off, the landlady is being mean to him.
Yeah, now this is the second Jim Carrey film where the landlord is a bad guy.
And Ace Ventura, it happens too.
Yes, exactly.
But he had a better comeback in that one.
Yeah.
I liked his room. A lot of Looney Tunes stuff around the place.
Yes.
Which made me think, is this version of the mask zany because he likes Looney Tunes? And the version in the comic is unhinged because he's unhinged.
Murderer.
He's a murderer.
Because It just builds upon what you already have.
Yeah. So like, if
I
the
like
mask,
that they built that.
Yeah.
Because that's his head. That's who he is. I know I see the world as a cartoon.
Yeah.
Do you think the mask chose him as his chosen?
No.
Yep. All right.
I don't think this version of the mask can choose people. Because it just kind of gets thrown around.
Yeah, but he tries to throw it out. It comes back to him in the end.
Yeah.
So, chosen of Loki, maybe?
Ooh.
Marvel, MCU, just saying.
Ooh.
Loki.
Hey, that's
in that
so.
film, just
Hey,
saying.
you're ruining my sequel pitch for the end of the episode.
Oh, sorry.
Are you seeing this?
But yeah. He does put on the mask though.
Yeah.
And like up until this point, I was like, oh, this is just Jim Carrey kind of playing it straight. I'm not loving this. You know?
When he hits you with the, it's time to party. Party. Because I gotta. That's when you know.
Yeah.
He did not come to play.
No,
Yeah,
it's
no.
on.
He came to party.
Yeah.
But why?
Because he's gotta.
Yeah.
Smoke it.
The first thing he does as well is like an alarm clock jumps out of his jacket.
Oh, yeah. Oh, great.
And then he's just
Where
like,
is he getting all these props from? Because
Yeah.
at one point he painted a prop, but the other times they just
Yeah.
come out of nowhere.
Now, that's the thing. I'm thinking inside of the jacket, larger than the outside. Possible
No
Doctor
way.
Like a TARDIS situation,
Yes,
right
TARDIS
here?
situation.
TARDIS situation.
Exactly.
Mary Poppins. But yeah.
Or Mary Poppins.
Or like Mary
yeah,
Poppins. Or Fantastic Beasts, any of those sort of things.
Yeah, but Mary Poppins actually would work quite a lot. Because I could see Jim
the
Carrey
Mask
as a
versus
baby.
Mary Poppins.
Babysitter. That would be
The
great.
kid from The Son of Mask and Mary Poppins.
She comes to babysit them.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, yes.
Played by...
With a spoon full of zany.
Yeah.
What did you think of the scene where he jumps out of the window and is flat against the ground and pulls himself up and is like,
great.
I'm roadkill.
I really liked
I loved... Honestly, those special effects, pretty good. Pretty good
Right? They
special
were like
effects.
a breakthrough at that time.
Yeah. As he's bouncing around, he says some line which I really...
Look, Mom, I'm roadkill.
Yes! It was such a...
That's definitely something that I didn't remember as a kid.
Yes, I did.
Like, there were a lot of points in this movie where I was like, oh, I watched this as a kid. Like, when he's doing the balloon animals
Yeah.
and he pulls that up.
I love the balloon.
I was so young.
Oh, yeah. So he beats up these thugs by giving them balloon animals.
He pulls out a Tommy gun, though, and no
No,
bullets.
he doesn't pull it out. He balloon animals
right.
Yeah.
a Tommy gun, and then the balloon turns into a Tommy gun.
But none of the bullets hit anyone. You say, oh, but it is a kid's film. But later on in the final scene, we see full bullet wounds on people with blood and everything.
Right, yes.
So-
Well, I think it's that's because Jim Carrey was launching the bullets, yeah?
Oh, you can't have the main character.
Yes,
killing
because he's a
goons.
nice
This guy.
He would never do such a thing. So, yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah, he's such a nice, lovable guy. Just
All women want that.
yeah, exactly.
Women that don't want that are wrong.
He goes back home and wakes up, right? And the police are like, hey, did you hear about what happened last night?
And he was like, no. I in fact have this ear problem. Just sometimes can't hear anything.
What about his pajamas, though?
Huh? What was that?
Zany.
Sorry, didn't hear you because of the, ear problem.
How convenient to the plot.
Yes.
Also, did anyone else think that the detective looked exactly like Dustin Hoffman?
Yes. Yeah.
Not so much, but I see it now. Yes,
Yeah,
now
no,
that
that's
you've mentioned
true.
it.
Dustin Hoffman and Doyle.
Oh, Doyle's great. Jim Carrey, he robs a bank and the bad guys are like, hey, how dare you rob a bank? We were going to rob a bank. And
Yeah,
he's like,
no.
haha. I did it.
It's like literally as the bad guys are robbing it, he just bursts out of a window. As a classic mask move is bursting out of windows, apparently.
There's not been a better bank robbery scene ever in film.
Yeah.
I've seen The Dark Knight.
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't hold up compared to this one.
This is
complete garbage.
Damn it, this hurts.
Well, it's great because he bursts out and then we see him going off and we're like, man, what happened in there? Then later on in the film, we see security footage of exactly what happens in there. They touch on it twice.
So zany.
It's great. Yeah, it's great.
He's like the Flash. But
Yeah.
funny.
But zany.
It's like the Flash, but funny.
Yeah.
He then shows up to the club. What's the club called again?
Coco Bongo.
Coco Bongo. The only club in Edgy City.
Yeah.
He rocks up there and he sees Cameron Diaz and then he turns into a dog.
Yeah.
And no one notices him.
Yeah, that is a key point that no one seems to be paying attention. But they're all eyes are all on the female lead. Because she's female
lead number 1, not to be confused with the
female lead number 2,
female
who is the psych female lead. A classic twist where you have a female lead, but she's also evil.
Yes, because you've got Cameron Diaz starts off evil, becomes good, and then
she starts off as good and becomes evil. There we go. Who says there wasn't any character development for the female lead?
Yes, but then it's like, oh, you said you weren't going to hurt him. Oh, I lied.
There was a scene. I know this is later on in the movie, but when female lead number 2 betrays him, she's like, yes, you are a nice guy, but it just there was so much money and I had to do it.
No, I had to save my apartment.
Condo's not going to pay itself.
Yeah, it's not going to pay itself.
And he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. He didn't deserve this, even though he robbed a bank.
Yes.
Slightly.
Well, no, but he's a nice guy. He robbed the bank
in a nice way.
And then is going to now, he goes to the club to spend the money, to give it back to the people. He robs from the rich.
Robin Hood.
Like a modern Robin Hood.
And you know what the colour motif for that is as well? Please. Green!
Oh my god! It all loops around. This film is brilliant. A masterpiece.
A masterpiece.
Oh!
Thank you.
I'm doing a slick clap.
I'm doing a more rapid clap to bring a separate beat on.
Golf clap?
Yeah, exactly.
The goons all rock up at the club. We get the dance scene as well while that's happening.
The way he spins around.
Oh, yeah.
She was like very into it.
Yeah, no, she was like, she goes from like, oh, who are you? Oh, I like your jib. And then they just dance together. Even though she just finished her set. If that was me, I would have been like, no, I am out. I have done.
Am I getting paid for this?
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm nauseated. I'm in space now.
Yeah. Also, he spins her so fast, there's literal smoke coming from her
She doesn't have a mask on. She's got no special powers.
Yeah, no, she would have thrown up.
So what is the rules of this universe? If he is in contact with someone, he can make them do those sort of like spinny things.
It's just his part of his powers.
And it doesn't affect her. Yeah.
Well,
no, the power set is just all over the place.
I think it's a secret thing that she doesn't suffer from motion sickness. She just doesn't. But it's never explained as this film because it's a key
character development.
Exactly. It's a key character thing that you have to pick up if you're paying very close to the film.
She's a strong female lead.
Exactly. Yeah. She has these unique powers that we don't see, but maybe, in a sequel of some sort.
I liked when the goons show up and they quote unquote shoot him and he has the fake death scene. I thought that was actually pretty good.
Really good.
I'm not even gonna lie, I wrote a similar scene in something that I
nice.
Where he just gets an Oscar out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those moments where it's like, oh, so that's where I got it.
Yeah. No.
This explains so much.
I liked that except for they made a fart joke during it, which I really didn't like.
Oh, yeah. No, they
frankly, my
that.
dear, I do give a damn.
Yeah.
He makes plans with Cameron Diaz to go to Landfill Park.
Ah, yes.
Yep. The names. You got Edge City.
In the sequel, you know how it's called Edge City? Yeah. The sequel is Fringe City.
Oh, right. Of course.
I like science comedy. I've watched The Simpsons. It's really genius.
Cool. Yeah. No. That's very, they're like bringing back from the previous film and continuing on with that. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Landfill Park.
That's a pretty awkward scene though with them both there, and then he turns into the French mask.
Oh yeah,
it got uncomfortable very quick, but she was into it and then not into it and then into it and then running away. Well, I worried for her.
Yeah, she was into Jim Carrey. It was very. Then he tries to go away to change into the mask.
Yeah.
But she does so. Then comes in and then she's like, "Oh no, not into this."
Yeah, he's not such a nice guy anymore.
Yeah. He's clearly getting more masky and less nice guy-y, which he was obviously into because he was a nice guy.
And then she immediately runs into an alley as well.
Yeah, when she's trying to run away from people. Yeah. She was in a well-guarded, she was next to the police station.
Yeah.
And then she goes and runs into an alley because of her boyfriend's goons chasing her.
Yeah.
Female lead number one. Come on.
Yeah, come on, female lead number one.
What's going on?
Stand your ground.
Yeah, police rock up.
The police rock up and they're like, "Hey, freeze!"
And then he freezes.
He freezes literally.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Genius.
a joke! What a genius joke.
No one questions him.
Yeah.
No one questions his powers.
No one's like, this guy's face is green. If anyone wore a mask in my everyday life, I'd be like, why are they wearing a mask?
Well, he robbed a bank. Now, theory, I'm saying part of the mask's powers is that other people don't notice how ridiculously cartoony it is that his powers.
So part of the powers is to hide the fact that he has powers.
Yes, they just accept this. Going on to the next scene where the cops are dancing.
In the next scene.
They just join in because they don't notice how ridiculous it is. They just want to boogie. It's
that
great.
was an amazing scene.
Yeah. So he freezes.
Yeah.
And then he tells him to put his hands up, but he can't because he's frozen. Wow. Peak of comedy.
It would have taken them a solid 2 minutes to come up with that.
Yeah. No. And that's you could do a lot of things in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
You can make a 1 minute noodles.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
Twice. 1 minute noodles
1 minute noodles twice.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Or just 1 2 minute noodles.
Or you could audition for a new movie sequel coming up, starring a female lead role as the Mask.
With sides given to me in my email address, which is...
Yeah.
He takes off the mask, gets into the car with the reporter. That's when we find out that she is working for the goons, but he's still a nice guy.
Yeah, she's like, man, you're such a nice guy. She says all these nice things about him that are true, that are very true, because he's a nice guy.
We've all witnessed it. We've come along with their journey.
And it turns out she's working with the bad guy.
Yes.
Bad guy.
Right,
Who then
it's
gets
scarred.
the mask.
Scarred
And
me.
a little brainstorm happens.
Yeah.
CGI
well.
brainstorm.
Is it a brainstorm or just a regular storm?
Storm.
So the bad guy turns into the mask.
Yes.
But when he turns into mask, he's like this big, bulky, like Hulk almost.
The
Which is
Abomination.
Inspired by a comic character, I think. There was one comic character where he puts on the mask and he doesn't change because he's already...
Oh, right.
He's already like that bulky...
Oh, wow. That's great.
Interesting.
I did not know that. Fun fact.
But then they plan to be like, hey, we will frame Jim Carrey for the bank stuff.
Not frame.
Well, no, because he did do it.
He literally did it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he's just handing
Also
him over to
show
the
up
police.
in person in a public space with the mask on while Jim Carrey is being framed for
That as
something
well.
that he did do.
That as well.
Yeah. It's a bit of a situation.
But what they do is they drop Carrey off at the police with a rubber mask.
Yeah.
That's the wrong shade of green.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so different to the actual mask.
I argue it was a closer shade of green than the actual wooden mask.
Yes.
That is true.
Yeah, you're
That is
right.
true, yeah.
But I think that's part of the magic of the wooden mask is that it like turns into it goes from this dark wood. It was probably back in the centuries old and much brighter, but the years of being
Really taking a toll.
yeah in this underwater like chest for thousands of years. It's a very
Some moss.
yeah.
Oh.
It's very like a very key like Easter egg. That sort of fine detail that they put into these things during this movie.
You know what really gets me?
Yeah.
Is Jim Carrey wearing a toupee? Because when he is the mask, he does not have any hair. But when the bad guy is the mask, he has hair. And in Son of the Mask, they have mask like plastic hair.
Ah, that's a very key point
Really
that you've
think
picked
about
up
it.
on.
Well,
So Jim Carrey
Man,
does
you've
not
really
have any.
looked into this film for the finer details. You've like sifted with a comb.
It's
these
just
details.
when your soul calls out to a piece of media,
Yeah.
you really want to explore that to the fullest.
Yeah.
Got a just classic Jared Leto over
Yeah.
here. The real
I won't
Daniel
send
Day.
anyone any rats.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
that will-
Yeah,
it
that
has
would be-
consequences if you're a woman and you did that.
Yikes. Yeah, no.
We're fine to do it there.
Yeah. We'll send rats. It's fine. You want rats? We'll send you some rats.
What? He
I send you
escapes.
rats all the time.
He escapes from prison because the dog jumps in slow motion.
Lassie.
Classic. Very reminiscent of Lassie.
Last week's Lassie,
Yeah. Clearly copied this film.
that movie, yeah. And then the dog knows what a key is and goes to grab keys. After, of course, grabbing the cheese first.
Whoa.
It sounds so
But-
similar. Cheese and keys.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. It's pointed out earlier on in the film when Jim Carrey can't find his keys for his car.
That is true. Yeah. That is true.
And he's like, dog, find the keys. Exactly.
It's a setup and a payoff and it makes sense.
Shotgun on the
mantelpiece.
Shotgun on the mantelpiece. This is art.
Chekhov, you seeing this?
Yeah.
And yeah, so then he escapes jail and goes to the War Orphans charity.
Yep.
Where they're putting money in a giant piggy bank that just says War Orphans Fund on it.
Yes. Brilliant.
Not for regular orphans and no war is specified.
Yes. Presumably Infinity War. Just think about it.
Blip.
Yeah.
The blip.
The blip orphans. Yeah.
The blip orphans.
Oh, I'd imagine that must have been a devastating time.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just living in a world where half the people just disappeared?
Which is why, they have to raise money for them, you know? Make them better.
Because Jim Carrey's such a nice guy.
He's such a nice guy.
Stanley Ipkiss is the nicest guy.
Yeah.
The goons and the evil abomination mask, they go into the charity, and there's this line, someone in the background, like one of the like extras or whatever,
Featured extra.
Featured extra, has a line
with a speaking role
where she's talking to one of the goons and is like, don't you have any respect for law and order? What kind of thug are you? It's great. Yeah. What kind of thug would not have respect for law and order?
Dum
dum.
Dum dum.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't know anything. I just want to stack these boxes. I didn't see no guy in a green mask.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So you're telling me a guy in a green mask robbed a bank?
Yeah.
While
and then he did the
around.
cha-cha with you?
I
love iced tea.
Yeah. That would be good.
This podcast sponsored by Lipton's iced tea.
Use not sponsors at all.
They're not. No, personally, what's a competitive brand of Lipton? So we should just mention them just so we don't,
Mouth Kilo. The Australian.
Nice.
Iced teas are available.
Oh dear. So the shootout's pretty cool. There's a shootout. It's good. Diaz is like, hey, evil mask, take off your mask. Yeah. And he does.
And she saves the day because he wants to get a little smooch on. He just wants to smooch.
You see, because the female lead character's got more behind the good looks. She's actually smart and immune to motion sickness.
And probably played football as a kid because that kick was on point.
Yeah, the way she kicks the mask goes.
She's very proficient in kicking people
in heels. I mean, do you know how difficult that is?
Yeah. No, very, very difficult.
The dog catches the mask and then turns into a dog-nado.
Yes.
And then pings on a dude.
That would be a great sequel to this film if we just focused on the fact that at one point during this film the dog wore the mask.
Well,
would it?
Well, you know, you never know what they made in 2005.
Yeah, you never know.
Stanley said it looks like a different breed of dog.
Yes.
I mean, it's the same breed.
Same dog.
Say that, didn't he?
This must be a new breed. I mean, no, Jim Carrey, you know it's your dog.
And he's not wearing the mask at that point. It's just him being... Anyway, he puts back on the mask and then takes them all out.
But he gets shot and then takes a drink and it leaks out.
That was a good visual as well.
Yeah, I really like that. I unironically really like that. It's great.
And then, we get the classic line.
You think I'm feeling lucky?
Yeah.
Well, do ya, punks?
And then pulls out, giant guns, and they're like, oh, run away, and it's bang, 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 bang. And then he grabs the TNT, his, mouth unhinges a snake.
That looked very bad.
That was terrifying. Not bad.
No,
terrifying.
bad. No, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
He could eat a human being by doing that. No,
it probably
this is leading to these dark roots of the comic book. That was terrifying. Eats the TNT, swallows it, boom, chest expands, classic.
Yep.
Goes,
which is what love feels like.
Yeah, of course.
Let's do it all
Very
together.
Similar.
Are you ready?
That's a spicy meatball. Classic line.
It's good.
So one time I was in an Italian restaurant and I got some spaghetti and meatballs and I ate it and it had some spices on it and I was like, oh, this has some spices on it.
And that's the sort of comedic improv that needs to be in a big blockbuster reboot of The Mask. Anyway, that's the film. It ends with him being not arrested.
Smoking.
Alright, let's wrap this up. We have to rate this film an oldie or a goodie.
Whew. And I know what I'm rating this. It's very obvious. But what are you rating it, Sandra?
Alright, cool. I'll go first. The Nihilist will go first. I don't think it's a good gangster movie in the slightest. I think the gangster aspect of this is terrible.
Well, but we have a hierarchy. It's clearly shown.
This inspired every single Martin Scorsese film.
Yeah, he was making films before this.
Yeah. No, but hit me to the future. Exactly.
I don't like the gangster element of it. I think Carrey, without the mask, he's not that funny. But yeah, I don't think that that it holds up. I don't.
That's okay.
That's what I think in general. What do you think?
For the longest time, I thought this podcast was called Oldie but a Goldie. I would like to add a new rating.
Yep.
I give it a Goldie.
Wow.
The people at home don't get to see my face.
Yeah.
The plasticity.
It's very expressive. Like, when you do that, it's like I'm seeing Jim Carrey with the mask.
But the female comedian
But if it was a female comedian
younger but old enough for a reboot.
Yes, your age.
Yeah.
Oh, what a coinky dink.
What a coinky dink.
Can easily get
but
yes, sequels.
I personally giving it the Dead Dad Award.
No.
Because that is our top award.
This is not how the Dead Dad Award works, though.
But there's a dead dads in this film.
Okay.
It's very clearly stated that there are dead dads. So first off, there's dead dads in this film. Second off, this is a brilliant film. A masterpiece. Laughed every single
I think you mean a masterpiece.
Oh, sorry, yes. A masterpiece. You're right, man.
Dead Dad Award can only be given if we all agree.
Yes, so do you agree? Dead Dad Award?
Is that the highest award?
Yes, that is the highest award we have.
I give it the highest award.
Okay,
No. I
refuse. You refuse? Well, then we will give it a new award of the Goldie.
The Goldie.
Goldie.
But a Goldie.
Absolutely.
All right.
Brilliant.
So is a Goldie from you two an oldie from me?
And you're allowed to be wrong. That's okay.
It's okay.
One day you'll realize your mistakes in your old age.
Look, when we watch The Son of the Mask.
Yeah.
Speaking of sequels, we'll get to that. Let's pitch our own. We pitch sequels to the films that we watch.
So obviously there's so many ways this film could go. We've gone over several of them.
Quite a few.
Because it's such an in-depth universe that they've covered.
I just personally would like to see a female version of this, woman of color in the lead, just aspiring, trying to make a name in the world. It might be a good vehicle for her.
Where would you suggest to look for this member of the cast?
I don't know, maybe
somewhere different,
Australia's
foreign.
got a good booming industry.
Yeah, we know that because living here, we know that we have great Australian comedy,
and it's very cheap to film here. Thor's here.
It's true. Yeah. It's true.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, it's good. I like that sequel idea.
Yeah, I like that sequel idea as well.
My idea is a theory I had all throughout this film.
Yeah.
Loki, if you are going, not necessarily Marvel Loki, but Loki in general, can shapeshift sometimes.
Yes, and then go bang a horse.
Yes.
That is in Norse
As
mythology.
we've seen in the mythology. The dog, all throughout the film, the dog's, finding his keys, in a way, pushing him towards the experiences that he has as the mask. My theory is, whole time, the dog's too smart to be a dog. The dog's Loki.
What?
That's right.
That's crazy.
At the end of...
That would make a great sequel. The dog with the mask. Amazing. I love it.
No.
Yes, and also a dad who doesn't want kids.
Yes.
But he has a kid.
That's not...
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
What?
Absolutely brilliant.
You're ruining my pitch. Anyway, I just want Loki to be the dog. Your sequel.
Well, I've hinted it throughout. There's been hints in this movie itself.
What?
They've implanted it. MCU. Very clear. Loki connection. Obviously, what happens, the snap happens, War Orphan's got to raise funds for them. You know, Jim Carrey, he's a nice guy. And that's what Captain America's looking for the new Avengers.
No.
They're looking for nice guys.
No.
I would watch that.
Well, what they actually did was they made an animated TV show that ran for 54 episodes. Just like Ace Ventura. They were like, we'll do a TV show. A sequel,
not too keen on that one.
A sequel was planned, went into production in like 96, but Jim Carrey was like, "No, I'm going to do Batman," and he bailed.
So that worked out well for him.
So instead, in 2005, they made The Son of the Mask.
To be fair, one of my favorite films.
We watched the trailer after watching the movie. I had never seen anything from it aside from the DVD cover, and it looked terrible.
I saw it like 10 years ago, or like when it first came out. Not as good as the first one. We'll put it out there. Jim Carrey really did bring out the mask in the mask aspect, whereas a dog does not have quite the same acting skills as Jim Carrey. Close! But not quite.
But anyway, this month, quote-unquote news rumors has come out that the founder of Dark Horse, Mike Richardson, wants to make a reboot of The Mask.
Whoa.
He wants it to be dark.
Really?
He wants it to be gritty.
Whoa.
He wants a female lead.
Whoa.
He does
like all of those things.
I didn't
That's
know.
Crazy.
I didn't know. I didn't have any idea. What?
I think I'd be on board with it because he was the one pushing to make the first one a horror. So I think if he's in the lead, cool.
Look, I'll watch it.
That's it.
I'll certainly watch it, especially if they have a young aspiring actress from Australia. You know.
What are the odds of finding someone that into the Mask canon? And an Australian aspiring comedy.
We need the improv in there. We need the acting skills.
Look,
there's like no one that
I don't think anyone like that exists.
No one but you, but like no one else aside from you.
Exactly.
It's like weird, man.
I can't imagine a world, where you're not playing the mask, and if I do have to live in that world, I'm just gonna end it. So.
Oh no!
Sorry. Well,
you're hot at half fast, folks.
That's a spicy
meatball. Too spicy for me.
That's a little.
All right, that's it.
No.
If you like the podcast, best thing to help us out is tell a friend. Be like, hey friend, listen to this. Do you like The Mask?
Have you heard of The Mask?
Yeah,
the greatest film of all time.
People, we've got quite a few episodes of popular films out at the moment. So there we go. We are both on Instagram. You can follow us there. We're both on. Well, we've got a Facebook page. You can. Go ahead and give that a like. Message that page as well if you want to get in touch.
Go on Spotify.
Yeah.
Go on the iTunes.
Yeah.
Go on the YouTubes. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
It's YouTube.
We'll see what happens if it's up or not.
Yeah.
First of all, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a delight. My stomach hurts from so much laughing.
Yeah,
my cheeks hurt.
My cheeks and stomach also are in pain.
This was a wild episode.
This was
Things I want to plug will be done by the time this podcast comes out.
Yep.
But if you want to see me, sometimes I'm in the Big HOO-HAA every Friday at the Butterfly Club.
Yeah, woo. I might be there as well to come say hi.
Awesome.
Just hanging around the bar because that's what I do.
You're an alcoholic.
Yeah, you can do that.
This is an intervention.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram at Meerna Yousif, on Twitter at Meerna Yousif. Come find me.
Links in the description. Now, Zach, technically I was meant to choose this episode, but I didn't.
But we needed to see The Mask, obviously. One of the greatest films of all time.
And you're welcome. Both
It was worth it for the episode.
Next week,
and
we have, I believe, just two choices.
Go.
Clear and Present Danger.
Ooh.
Harrison Ford is a CIA director who finds out about a covert mission.
Ooh.
Oh no, those are the worst kind.
Yeah, they're like the secret ones.
Okay. Well, let me see.
And then we have The Little Rascals.
I've seen that. So
wait, you've seen it?
So it's a bunch of kids and they have like this treehouse. And the
no
tree house is no girls allowed. But then one of their friends gets in a relationship and they're like, oh, we're going to break them up. And that's the whole film.
Wow. How was that?
That will not hold up.
Great. No girls allowed in the tree house.
No, you don't like girls. They have cooties.
Yeah, they have cooties. No cuties.
That's why we can't hire you for this job.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your choices then, Sandro?
I mean, I like Harrison Ford. Let's do that. Let's do that
cool.
one. We'll wrap it up with our favorite quotes from the movies that we just saw.
There's too many. There's too many to choose from. You know what? Let's go with this one. Oh man, I thought you had a sense of humor. I mean, you married her. Classic.
That was good. I'm just fascinated by, don't you have respect for law and order? What kind of thug are you?
That is a good one.
What was going through the writer's mind?
Maybe we'll see more of that character in the sequel, third one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I really like this because it happened twice. It's anytime Jim Carrey referred to himself as Daddy. Come on, Daddy!
That's a weird note to end on.